Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 14th episode of the 5-Minute Major podcast of St. Louis. And today, we're going to discuss the last couple games from the Blues, and then we're going to breeze through around the league, our game time segment, which we'll explain a little bit shorter from now. And then we're going to run through a couple other small things with the Blues, and Josh wanted to talk about Veterans Day coming up as well. So I'll hand it over to him. First of all, how are you doing?
Doing good. We're doing
That's
good.
I'm glad to hear it.
Back in the gym, so I am feeling the pain right now, but happy to be back there. And we're recording this on Sunday. Got to church today, a really good message. So I'm happy we were able to spend some quality time and then just kind of getting everything together. But how you doing? Doing okay?
I'm exhausted.
Yeah,
put the basement flooded, and then today was the put back together day.
Oh, yeah.
And we have like custom cut carpet tiles that we put down before, and putting them back in the right place was like nearly impossible. So we makeshifted again, but we're good. We made it work.
You got to do what you got to do, man.
Yeah, my dad he's hurting too, so yeah, I feel bad for the old man. But anyways, I'm handing it over to you officially. Let's talk about Veterans Day.
All right, so y'all, this video will be coming out on the 11th, which is Veterans Day, which will be November 11th, which is Monday. Just want to take a moment to really say thank you to all the brave men and women who are serving and protecting our country, foreign and domestic. Got a little quote: "Never before have men and women crossed the seas to foreign lands to fight for a cause which they did not pretend was particularly their own, but they knew was the cause of humanity and mankind." That really sums up the message of our troops currently. A lot of people are sacrificing their lives to serve their country. A lot of people are going to work every day to serve their country. This one hits me hard. My girlfriend is active duty Air Force. I love you, Swain. I really do appreciate you and everything you do. And then another big shout out to our best friend, Olivia. She is also Air Force. She is a lawyer in the military, and I love her and really appreciate her and everything she does. That being said, we do have a lot of friends that are here at Scott Air Force Base with us, since we are in St. Louis and the O'Fallon area. Thank you to everything you guys do, and thank you to those that are not here in St. Louis that are also serving our country around the world. We wouldn't be able to do this podcast if it wasn't for those who have made the ultimate sacrifice to allow us to have freedom and the ability to talk about hockey, which is just a game at the end of the day. So from Mike and I to everyone that are serving our country, God bless you, thank you, and keep up what you're doing.
Yes, we love you very much. Always and forever. I appreciate every last one of you. Much love. And thank you, Josh, for that. That was very nice. I wasn't expecting it. Yes. Great.
And it's one of those that I don't think I truly ever understood. Being on the other side of being a family member of those in the military, it is one that the family members are just as important. And I'm new to this world. But those who have been doing it for years, props to you guys. It is a hard job to keep everything at home in check. But it's a much needed thing to allow those who are serving our country to keep their minds in the game and keep them safe. So
yes, props
to the families, props to our soldiers and their families, and God bless you guys. But Mike, around the league, what you got?
Okay. I'm going to start with the Jets again. They keep making us look stupid.
Yeah, we're idiots for this.
They just set the NHL record for most wins in the first 15 games with 14. They're currently 14-1. They are disgusting. They look better than everybody they play. Shout out to them. Shout out to Connor Hellebuck. Let's bring home a win in 4 nations, buddy. On to the next one, Kevin Hayes, a former Blue. Hazy's out week to week for Pittsburgh. I didn't really dive too deep into it. I just saw it. It sucks. He can be a key locker room guy, so hopefully they can keep him around and stuff. Pittsburgh's kind of in the pooper right now, so they got to pick it up. Mark Stone, classic. A little early for this one, Vegas, but
not late in the season yet, folks.
I don't think it's long term. I think it's just he's always
they'll find
something. It's his back or whatever. So he's on the IR. Kind of sucks for Vegas, but they're still rolling. 8-0 at home for them. Austin Matthews, another one that kind of sucks for Toronto, but Toronto has a great record without him.
Yeah.
I think they're like 3-0 so far without him, or over the last three times he's been out there 3-0. So it's not that big of a deal to the team, but it does suck just because he's, a generational hockey player. You don't want him to miss that many games. Not long term. Hopefully he'll be back next week. This one was big, low key. Nashville. Barry Trotz said, if we don't start winning, I'm making moves. Like, I'm starting the rebuild process. And he sent Fabro to waivers. He was like immediately picked up by Columbus, which I think is huge for them. That was a great pickup, low key. He likes to shoot the puck. I've heard, so a little bit more offense on the blue line for Columbus. Maybe he can lock it down for them. They kind of started getting back to the old Columbus we know. So good pickup. Nashville, right after that, they shut out Utah on a 4-0 win, I believe. So maybe they're back on track too. They got to really start picking it up. Yep. This one sucked to see.
Dirty
hit. Jeannot suspended 3 games. He checked Brock Besser in the dome. It was dirty as hell. Yep. Just neutral zone, bing, bang, boom with the elbow, high shoulder. Not a good look for him. Besser's out indefinitely. Don't know how long it's going to be. If it's concussion, you never really know. Hopefully he'll be back soon, though. Hopefully it's not as bad as it looked. And then it's not going to segue into the Blues game, but Ovechkin, this guy turned the clock back like 5 or 6 years. He looks so good. 10 goals in his first 14 games. And shout out to Dylan Strome, assisted on all 10 so far. Beast of a pickup for them. He's really coming out and showing that he's a 1C on any team. So the Capitals are also rolling. I think they're tied for second place in the Metro or just in the Eastern Conference entirely. They look really good.
Also making us eat our words there.
Yeah.
We have them as a wild card team, and they are so much better.
Yeah. Ovi's just him turning back the clock gives them so much ability to be so much better. Shout out TJ Oshie too. I hope he's feeling better. I know it sucks on that end of him being hurt with the back thing. If he has to not play ever again, that would suck, but you got to get better eventually. So shout out Oshie, shout out the Capitals.
Yep.
Okay. Game time segment. We're rolling. We're trying to keep these pods under an hour for you guys. This one's called This or That. I stole it from the Empty Netters podcast. Shout out to them. Saw it TikTok. Basically, I'm gonna give Josh 2 players. I'll just say Bush or Kyrou, and he'll pick one player that he would rather have on the team. And then after that, whoever he picks, I'll say, okay, well, Kyrou or this guy, and we'll just go for like 10 or 15 names or whatever. And then he'll do it to me, and then we'll be over. This is kind of fun. I tried to throw in like lower tier guys, a couple bigger names, couple goalies, couple defensemen, so we'll see what you say. All right. Here we go. This or that. Josh is up first. I have for you Mr. Brock Besser or Jordan Eberle.
Brock Besser.
That's a good pick.
Yeah. Brock Besser, better all
around. Brock Besser or Anthony Duclair.
Brock Besser. Brock good Besser. Pick. Come
on. Brock Besser or Timo Meier.
This one's hard. I think I'm going to go Timo.
I like that.
I'm going Timo.
He's very underrated. He's a little streaky though. Okay, Timo Meier or Marc-Andre Fleury.
Give me Flower.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't not take Flower.
Yeah. Just franchise, one of the best ever.
Oh, yeah.
Fleury or Mr. Nick Schmaltz of Utah?
Staying with Flower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fleury or Jeff Skinner?
Oh, God. Give me Flower. Skinner, no. Not taking him.
He's an interesting player. Yeah. Sniper, that's for sure.
He is.
Okay. Fleury or Moritz Seider out of Detroit?
Seider. Younger, better. Seider.
Just the right-handed defenseman of that caliber is so hard to come by nowadays. Yeah. Great pick. Okay, Seider or Mason Marchment out of the Dallas Stars?
I think Seider still. I think I'm saying Seider. Yeah.
I agree. Okay, this one might be hard for you. Seider or Mr. Robert Thomas?
This is hard. I want to say Tomer, but I think I got to go Cider.
Yeah.
I'm staying Cider. That's hard.
I
love you, Tomer, but I'm going Cider.
Okay. Moritz, Cider, or Linus Olmark?
Oh, give me Olmark.
Wow, that was a quick flip.
I'm taking Olmark. I mean, the dude's still a stud. I love him. He's a great goalie.
Yeah, I helped him win in Boston in OT the other night.
Yep.
All right, Olmark or Mark Stone? I probably would pick Mark Stone.
I'm staying Olmark.
Okay. Olmark or Jake DeBrusk?
Olmark.
Yeah, clear as day on that one. Olmark or Brock Faber?
Brock Faber.
Wow, quick turnaround again.
Yeah, you know.
Faber's so good.
Yeah. He's only getting better, too. That's
last one. Faber or Casey Middlestat out of the Avalanche?
Faber. I'm comfortable taking Faber. I'm fine with Faber being my guy at the end.
See, if it would have got mixed up a different way, you never know who you end up with. That's why this is kind of fun. All right.
Yeah.
All right, my turn. I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sergachev or Kevin Fiala?
Ooh, I'll take Sergey.
Okay. Sergey, Claude Giroux.
Ooh. I love Claude Giroux. I'm still going to stick with Sergey.
Okay. That's a hard pick. I got you.
Yeah, that's hard.
Sergey or Jamie Benn?
I'm going to go Sergachev just based off cups.
Wow, okay. I thought you were going to flip there. I thought Jamie was going to get some love. All right. Sergey or Brandon Hagel?
Ooh, I like Brandon Hagel. He's been really coming into his own. He's younger.
Appreciated.
I'm going to stay with Sergey.
Oh, okay. I feel like I bounced around a bunch now. Sergey or Zuccarello?
Ooh, I'm taking Mats.
Really?
I like Zook. I love his game. One of the best passers in the league, and he plays with that stick that's taller than him. It's so funny to me. All right, okay. Zuccarello.
All right, Zook or Dougie?
It's kind of hard. Dougie's injury prone.
He is. I loved early Dougie more than I love current Dougie.
Yeah, he's back though. I'll stick with Zook.
Okay.
I'll stick with Zook.
This will be an interesting one. I'm interested to see where you're going to go. Zook or Pavel Buchnevich?
Zook.
Yeah. Rightfully so. I think you're getting more consistent play from Zook.
Yeah.
All right. I love this guy. Zook versus Tuck.
Ooh. I love Alex Tuck.
Yeah. Hard not to love. He's a blue all over the place. I wish he was here.
I know. It sucks that he's in Buffalo. I'll take Tuke.
Okay.
Or Tuck. Right. Alex Tuck.
Tuck.
Whatever.
Or Darcy Kemper.
Alex Tuck.
Okay. Tuck or Logan Thompson.
I'm only considering this because he's been so good this year.
He's been freaking awesome.
But the team entirely in front of him has been good.
No.
I'll stick with Tuck.
Okay. All right. Tuck or Logan Cooley?
I'll take Logan Cooley.
All right. Good pick. Young guy.
Yeah.
Logan Cooley or Victor Arvidsson?
Victor's having an off year, but he has always been really good.
Yeah.
Is it just because he's in Edmonton that he's having an off year?
That's the question.
I'm going to stick with Logan Cooley.
I think that's the right choice. This one's going to be hard for you, I think, this next one. Logan Cooley or Matt Duchene? You know who to pick. You know. You just don't want to.
I think I have to take Matt Duchene.
Yes, you do. Yep. All right. Matt Duchene versus Macklin Celebrini.
Ooh. I've been loving watching Celebrini, but I am going to stick with the douche Duchene.
Yeah, he deserves that respect.
Yeah.
He may be a douchebag, but I love him.
I do too, man. God, in Colorado, he was so great.
Yeah.
Actually, he's always been great.
Any guy that gets a custom Carhartt suit to wear to a game, you got my vote.
Yeah. So it's great that he's where he is too.
Oh yeah, he loves it. It's perfect fit. Great team. Great guys to be around.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Okay, that was fun.
That was fun.
Maybe we'll bring that back, or maybe we'll go back to what did we even do before? I don't remember.
Anyway. We got some game options we can do.
Yeah,
we'll
keep researching.
Fun. We needed fun before what we're about to talk about. These last two games. All right. Blues versus Utah. 4-2. Utah wins. I don't think the score really depicts how the game was, in my opinion. But Mikey, tell us about the goal scoring here.
I went to this game with my father, and you were there as well.
I was there as well.
From our perspective, we deserved to lose.
Yeah.
We played not great. So Kesselring scored from a nasty, 2-line saucer pass from Clayton Keller 18 seconds in, and it wasn't even a good goal. He just missed deked, and Hofer didn't expect it, and he just got scored on through 5-hole, which sucks. It blew the momentum instantly. Blues came back. Parayko on a heater right now from Bushnevich and Neighbors. That's good to see them on the score sheet. Utah comes out. Michelli from Gunther and Cooley. We tie it again. Kyrou from Bush. And then we didn't play anything.
No forgot
offense. To play hockey. Just everything was boring. Hockey, just skate around, get your minutes in. Gunther scored unassisted, and then McBain empty net goal from Sergey and Hayton. 4-2, we were in this game for some odd reason. I'd like to give the props to Hofer for keeping us in the game, making 27 saves on 30 shots, and I think we had 15 shots.
Yeah, it was bad. It was painful. It was painful to watch because it was just like, what are we trying to do here?
Yeah.
But it was a dirty game in a way. I thought it was a little kind of gritty, dirty kind of game, which I was surprised to see that out of Utah, in my opinion, but it seems that the Arizona Coyotes, now the Utah Hockey Club, has picked up right where they left off with having our number, and I hate it.
It's really unfortunate the way that we played. The fact that we had a chance just gave fans hope, and then they ultimately lost like they should have.
Yeah.
Again, Hofer had a solid game. Parayko's a workhorse. He's pretty much one of two guys really showing the adversity of the injuries we have right now. And again, gritty play, tough nose, hitting mentality. That's good. Just zero offense. I don't think we had more than a 10 or 15 second dump and chase in zone pressure. It was one and dones. We were dumping it into areas we couldn't even win races to. Just weren't skating hard enough. It was just unfortunate.
P.O. Joseph, man.
Great game from him.
Great game. Fought for his teammates. I can't complain, and I know he's not flashy. He's not your top two pair kind of guy, but he's steady, and I love P.O. I really think P.O. has been more than what I think they were planning on, and he's really been forced into playing up the lineup, and I really do appreciate his game.
Yeah.
It shows he's a former first-round pick, and you can see he doesn't have to be a superstar, but he is going to be a guy that can jump and play for any team in this league.
True.
So I think the biggest thing is just Hofer, I think, had an off game, but was still good for us. I think that's the easiest way to say it. But I don't know. I think you saw that Pavel Buchnevich on a wing looked pretty freaking awesome, which helped us tie the game up with the pass to Kyrou. But it's one of those things that I think Buch playing wing is a positive. And I think we have to look at it that way. It's not, I think, and it's a positive that I think the coaching staff is finally seeing it, that he has to play wing.
Yeah.
So, negatives. There's a whole lot, and the first thing I will start is, so Swain, who is not usually a hockey fan, was sitting up there next to me going, the structure of the offense for Utah is substantially better. They are able to get into the zone, make quick passes, and get a shot on net. And I'm like, holy crap. Okay. yeah, you're right. Like, she's like, why do we not have any structure? And I was like,
it's a good question.
oh, that's a good question. I was like, and I really didn't have a great answer. I was like, we're a rush offense, but then Utah's a rush offense, but also plays down low. So I was like, I don't know. You have stumped me, and I'm kind of just bad structure all around by our offensive scheme right now. I'm
Yeah,
kind of
and I
feeling
don't
like,
know, and I don't know what to blame that on. The
is that
coaches
coaching?
say they keep reiterating things. Is it the players not executed, or is it the fact that the coaching plan is just not good? It just depends. It really just depends, and we'll never know. Like, Craig Berube got fired because the players didn't execute, basically, in my opinion. Who really knows? I don't know. I don't know what to say about that.
I think it's clear as day that we are a rebuild team. I think
yeah.
we came out of the game, we're like, holy crap, this team. We're still in a rebuild, folks, and it's clear, and we're going to be streaky, and it's going to be, this is the way this season's going to go. I hate to say it, but until we get guys back and healthy, I think this just proves the fact that we have depth, but that depth is bottom six forwards.
Yeah, and I feel like every single podcast we talked about the Blues, you've said that. So, yeah. I mean,
it's like
if
being
the fans, if the fans want to get upset about one game, sure. I mean, the next game for sure should be upset about. Like, if you're losing 4-2, winning 3-1, like, being a 500 club does stink. As long as you're competitive, at least the fans are slightly happy.
Yeah.
Especially when you know what's going on.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to say is when Bush was playing center, he went 1-11 in the dot. That is 9%. That is really, really bad. And maybe he shouldn't be playing center,
Yeah. And here's the thing, like, I don't want to blame Doug for a lot of things, but my gosh, like, come on, guys. Like, Doug is Broberg, amazing. I think Holloway is going to turn out to be a phenomenal piece for this team. Matthew Joseph, great pickup. Signing Pio, great signing. Extending guys currently to avoid any issues with RFAs, great. You should have went and got another center, because my gosh, you banked on Dvorsky being ready, but you're banking on a 19-year-old being ready to bridge himself in the NHL, which clearly is not. But I think we're going to see him before the season's up because he is progressing very well. But Doug, you could have added some center. You have the cap space. You could have signed someone. Tyler Johnson was out there.
Anybody.
You could have made a trade for a low end guy. This is hard to defend, and like, I hate calling Doug out for this. And I know we're not trying to block people, but also, like, you're still trying to be competitive, and you're telling me this is being competitive, playing a guy that can't win a faceoff. Like, Nathan Walker has better odds of winning a faceoff than Pavel Buchnevich does, and that's pitiful.
Yeah. Well, and I think that Doug thought that way. I think he was thinking, okay, Walker can get us until Sonny comes back, and when Sonny comes back, then we have Thomas, Chen, Foxa, Sonny. And then, you have Holloway or Tex on the wings to take draws if they get thrown out, blah, blah, blah. But then Thomas got hurt. Yeah. And you really didn't have enough depth unless you want to play, like, Fox on second line center, like something weird like that. I don't know. It's interesting, that's for sure. It does suck right now being this hurt and being in a rebuild. Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Another couple negatives I wanted to mention before we move on to the horrendous game that was against DC. Saad, zero anything in this game. He skated for 14 to 15 minutes, had 0 attempts on net, had 0 shots on net. I don't remember any of his passes connecting. Come on, bro. Like,
terrible in the corner.
You gotta battle. You're a vet. You know how to do this, right? You've won a Stanley Cup. This, like, get into it, buddy. You got to be one of the guys to have adversity right now. And then, of course, the only reason we lose is we just aren't fast, and that causes these flip plays that Keller did 20 seconds into the game that gets behind your defense because we aren't skating, and that's just more chances down the middle of the ice, and you don't want that. Just not a great game. Somehow we're in it. Kyrou turnover basically lost us the game, basically. Like, if you're trying to be black and white.
Our power play sucked again.
Power play was brutal. I think we are officially 32nd in the league after the game against the Capitals, who were formerly 32nd in the league, and then they scored how many against us? You'll see. But let's move on to that game. Shout out Utah. They look, they're 500 club as well, but they look a lot better than we do.
Yeah, we deserve to lose that game. Like, at the end of the day, both these games we have deserved to lose, and we were embarrassed in this next one. So
yeah. Blues versus Capitals at home, Ovi on a heater. It was actually a decent game at the beginning, and then it was 8-1 final. Capitals at home on a Saturday night. Packed house. Jay Bouwmeester's there. Shout out Jay Bouwmeester.
We love you.
Legend. Just complete embarrassment. McMichael scored within the first minute yet again. Back-to-back games from pass from I think it was Carlson or Chicker, one of those.
I think it was
And
McMichael's
then
a stud.
Yeah, he looks so good.
He's so good.
And then Perunovic first career NHL goal. Woo! Took him almost 80 games. So not much cheering from us on this side.
Yep.
Assisted by Kessel and Kyrou. Kyrou's still getting points.
Baffling.
It's insane. And then second period came around. Ovi scored. Shout out Ovi. Chikrin scored right after that, and then the floodgates, buddy. I don't even have timestamps or assists on these in our notes.
Yeah.
Ovi power play goal. Sandin. McMichael, his second of the game power play goal. Scarbosa, who is that? First goal of the year. And then Duhaime scores to make it 8-1 final. Dylan Strome had 3 assists. Obviously, as I mentioned before, he's assisted on every Ovi goal, so he assisted on the 2 Ovi goals and an extra. He's having a great year. Washington's having a great year. But this wasn't just the fact that they were playing a good game. This is also the fact that we played, again, another really, really bad game. You're down 2-1. How are you not stopping the bleeding right there? How are you not battling to tie it up again after being down again? It's really, really frustrating. I'll run through the positives really fast because there's not many. Yep. Scotty P first career goal. Good for you, bro. Finally,
and it was a great design play too. So
it was really sick.
Yeah,
it was a really sick play. Scotty P, congrats, finally, brother. Can you be a little bit more engaged in the game other than that?
Look like you want to be there,
please. And then I'm gonna throw the fan question that we had from my buddy Nate right here because it pertains to this. As you all know, Binnington made one of the craziest saves I've ever seen him make, but it was after a crazy bounce and he probably shouldn't have went and got the puck anyway in the corner. So he basically saved himself from looking dumb. Nate says, was Binnington's diving paddle save a candidate for save of the year? I say yes.
Yeah, I think it definitely is.
That's it happens. It seems like it happens a lot, those types of saves, but that was truly phenomenal. You can't not give him props for making up for his mistake of leaving the crease.
Yeah, I was going to say probably top 10 in there for sure is an easy sell of a top save, and then top 5 maybe.
Yeah, I'd say top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Other than that, Binnington off completely.
Yeah, bad game.
And then Falk and Shen in the post-game interview showed accountability. Shen was like, I got to be better. Obviously, I stink right now. And Falk was like, dude, Falk
was fired up.
He said some straight up stuff. I can't hear. What did he say? Do you have it in the back of your head? I can't.
Basically, it revolved around if you want to be here, be here. If you don't, you can leave.
Pretty much. It was saying the team just has to play for each other. You can't lose 8-1 on home ice. Ever.
No. Ever.
He's basically saying you just can't look mopey out there. I mean, even if you're losing 5-1, maybe you can make it 5-3. Anyways, it was just really rough game. Okay, read it.
It's completely unacceptable. It's not right. I don't think that we should ever have that happen. A situation like that, we need to have respect for each other and the game. You can't go out there and play summer hockey for a period and think that's all right at any point. We're grown men in this league and need to put in the effort that's acceptable. It's not going to go your way every night, but you can't let it be that way. That's unacceptable. Holy crap. Falk, fighting people in the locker room next year, folks.
Do it. I mean, it fired us up in 2018-19. Punch somebody in the face. Yeah. Just punch Kyrou in the face at practice and see what happens. You know what I mean? Maybe it'll fire him up. But again, you can't say Kyrou isn't scoring points. It's just kind of everything else. As you watch intently of your favorite hockey team, you somehow pick up one guy that is doing something you don't like, and it always seems to be Jordan Kyrou. I'm not saying he hasn't been better. We have already mentioned that he's matured, and he does look better than last year overall. We really need to get fired up. I don't care if you're playing with half an AHL hockey team. Get out there and compete every single game. You're making millions of dollars to play the sport that you love. You trained your whole life for this. You're in the show. Let's go, you know? Yeah. And just a brutal showing. Pretty much the same negatives we saw in Ottawa not 5 or 6 games ago, which, again, is horrible to have 2 of these games within 6 games. Second game, here it is. Second game in 6 games allowing 8 goals. Yikes, dude. Just not good at all. 0 adversity. Yeah, Falk mentioned that pretty much. Pick it up, boys. Like, what are we doing? Bennington just he let in 8 goals.
Yeah.
One of them from McMichael, the first one, can't let that go in. Long blue line shot. You have the reaction time to make the stop. It goes in under your glove. Yikes.
And these are the games that are hard where we sit here and we're like, Bennington is an elite goalie.
Yeah.
You can have a bad night, but like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Like the little inconsistencies you got to clean up. And I love him. And I still think he is the key to success for this team. But like, we can't have these bad nights. It's just brutal.
Well, especially that often. I mean, obviously the last one was Hofer, but then Bennington came in and let in 3 in Ottawa too.
Yeah.
I will say that the team looked horrendous in front of him. I'd say half of them were his fault. Yeah. Let's just put it at half. He was swimming everywhere. The defense was not covering anything. So you can put 2 and 2 together there. Not good. Inconsistency continues, sure. Kyrou turnovers have to just completely stop.
Yeah.
I think 2 or 3 times now he's turned it over in a bad spot to give up a game-winning goal rush pretty much. And that is just unacceptable. You're a franchise player. You're making $8.5 million. You're supposed to be 80-point guy. And that doesn't mean you play offense 100% of the time, big boy. You got to play dirty sometimes. Just put it in the corner and fight. And he's done it before. I've seen him. Yeah. Sometimes you just put it on net, get an ozone face-off. You know, and maybe without Thomas, they're nervous to do that.
Yeah,
because maybe they know they're not going to win a face-off. But then it leans on Bannister for putting out a guy who can win a face-off. And right now, that's either Walker, Foxa, maybe Shen. Those are probably your 3 picks right now. That's not good.
Yeah.
I have a list of 5 guys that again are complete no-shows. Bush, where are you, buddy? You were on the wing this game. Didn't see you. Yep. Jake Neighbors, haven't seen you in 4 games now. Like 4 games.
And I will defend him in the sheer fact that I think he has been bounced around up and down 6 different players. And like,
that's so here's okay. The thing.
I think Booch and Neighbors here have had to bounce around.
That makes sense. I'll give him that.
Saad has bounced some, but had the most probably consistency with people.
I agree.
No excuse.
No excuse.
Shenner is being expected a lot. I will still defend Shen. Yes, he needs to put the puck in the net. Yes, he has to score when he has the opportunity, but he has been forced into a first-line center role, playing a lot of minutes at a point where I think he's a second- to third-line center. Yeah. Or he's a top 6 winger, in my opinion. So
maybe, yeah.
And then Cappy, you just are what you are at this point. Like,
I feel bad for him because he's been kind of in and out of the lineup, so you can kind of give him the same argument with Bush and Neighbors. Like, he's been in and out.
He knew his role was going to be that, though.
But he knows his role.
Walker comes in and hits people, and at least you notice him in the game.
Oh,
Cappy,
every game.
You don't notice. Cappy takes a stupid penalty, or like it's hard because I feel like I'd rather have given that spot to a young guy down in the league. And then I will say, Bolduc, you're young, you're 21, I get it, but also you have to do some positives. You said you had this wrist shot that could score. He's non-existent in the offense, and he's playing a little bit more physical. I guess I'll give him that, but also, gosh darn, like I don't know. Which, in retrospect, we say guys are getting bounced around. Dylan Holloway's going from wing to center, and I still notice him every game. So
true.
I don't know. Maybe it's the young mentality. Maybe it's a new spirit on the team. But like, Dylan Holloway is one of the youngest players on this team, and he's still showing up every night and showing you that he's in games. So I don't know. I don't know what to say here. It all around bad. And I think Mike and I talked about this. All of you who hated Torrey Krug, I'm going to say it. Everyone that had all the hate of Torrey Krug, and I love Torrey Krug. I bought a Torrey Krug hockey jersey as soon as we signed him. Yes, we have said he's not Alex Pietrangelo, but this power play would not be this bad if Torrey Krug was in this lineup. Shame on the people that said he brought nothing to this team. Torrey Krug, yes, he could lead a power play unit better than any defenseman we have on this team currently. So I don't want to hear this Torrey Krug, hey, this team is hurting without him. Yes, it was a bad contract. But in the situation we were in when we needed a defenseman, Torrey Krug was there and we signed him. Also, you had Justin Falk at that time frame that you expected more from. So, Torrey Krug, we would be scoring on the power play right now, and our power play, I can guarantee, would not be last in the league.
Yeah, I have to agree with you just because he's such a good passer.
Yeah.
Like, and he doesn't even need the score, but he was before he got hurt. Mm-hmm. And people just don't realize it. You know, they hyper focus. Like I said, you hyper focus on one guy, and it just seems to be him, or it seems to be Kyrou, or it seems to be, you know. But it's usually the people that matter, and that's why he got so much hate, because he mattered a lot.
Yep.
And it's showing now. It really, really sucks that he's hurt. It really does. It sucks. And it even... Sorry.
No, I don't think he's coming back either. I think it's done, and I hate it because you hate to see a guy go out with that type of injury.
Yep, and it really does stink. And you know what? We need Letty back too.
Yeah,
he had horrible games. We know that, but he was hurt, and now he's extra hurt. Maybe if he just didn't play hurt, he wouldn't be extra hurt.
Yeah,
we really need him back. He just needs to eat minutes. It's just eating the minutes and then getting that skating ability and that veteran passing ability back. It really takes the ease off P.O. It'll really take the ease off Kessel. And those two, like P.O.'s been, you know, Kessel needs somebody to help him. Yeah. And
I honestly think if you get everyone back, I think P.O. has earned the spot to stay in the lineup, and Kessel is sitting. Like,
yeah, just depends on
Studer's saying, and then Scotty P, you're gone at that point.
Yeah, and I think 99% of the Blues fans agree that unfortunately Scott Perunovich is just not the guy, and I think he's like I said 2 episodes ago, he's a Swiss League defenseman. Go over there and score your 30 goals on the back end in the Swiss. Yeah. And like you said, power play is just over again.
Yeah,
I think we're 10% this year. Just so bad. I mean, Washington is 10%, and they're 10-4.
Yeah,
like what's the issue? I'd say we might have. Well, they have OV, so I shouldn't say much.
They have some solid scoring. They added some good depth players that have. So they added. Their depth was top 6 players.
I know. They're so underrated. They were the way they handled the offseason was so underrated. Perfectly done by the GM there. Great job. Yep. Good stuff from Washington. I hope they make a run.
Yeah.
All right. Talk a little bit deeper into what we have for draft picks coming up, and then we'll kind of discuss maybe if we move some players, maybe we won't.
All right. So kind of segue, and we're not saying burn the ship down just yet. But I think we're at a point where it's theory. And if you're at a state where you're not going to make the playoffs at some point towards the end of the season, these are options of guys that can move. And fans need to realize our cupboard is not stocked with draft picks. So this next season, draft picks, we have a first round pick, no second round pick, no third round pick, no fourth round pick, 1 5th round pick, a 6th round pick, and no 7th round pick. You do not have much to be in the draft this next season, which we have loaded up in the past couple seasons, but you have to continue to pick these guys. 2026, you have a first round pick, no second round pick, a third, a fourth, 2 5ths, 6th, and a 7th. Followed by your 2027 season, you have 1 pick in each of the rounds. So, that being said, deadline comes. If we're not in a spot to make the playoffs, or if we are in a spot to make the playoffs, but you're still worrying about the retool in the future, here are some names that we have listed that we're going to talk about as potential trade candidates, starting with Brandon Saad. Is he kept? Is he traded to the deadline? I think he's traded. What do you think, Mike?
I love Brandon Saad so much, and you know this. I have his jersey signed. Even when he was on the Blackhawks, just such a beauty, good American-born player. Just right now, I think he needs to be on a playoff team, man. I just think he needs to be on a third-line wing. Like, maybe we give him back to Colorado. I don't know. They need everything they can get. To me, it makes the most sense that he's probably the top forward we should probably trade.
And I think
you can get a third round pick out of him at least.
We say at least. I mean, at the deadline, teams are desperate and prices are substantially higher. And Brandon Saad has won a cup and can contribute offensively on a team.
Oh yeah, he's a 20 goal for sure every year player. I mean, right now he's sleeping, but 20 goals.
Yeah, he'll still put up 20 by the end of the season.
I think I agree.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. Don't know about potential targets. I mentioned Colorado just because of how awful their forward core, but I still think they're going to compete because of McKinnon. It's just so sick. Okay, next guy.
Kasperi Kapanen. I think traded, but I don't know if anyone's going to want him.
I think we just eat it and let him walk as a free agent.
Yeah.
Because it's just a year, right?
Yeah, he's making 1 year at $1 million.
I say we'll probably eat it. He'll probably end up being our fourth line everyday player if we trade. You know what I mean? Or more injuries happen. He may be on our
third line before the end of the third or second line.
He is right now.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. Yeah, I think we eat it.
Next guy, Nick Leddy. You know, he has a modified no trade clause. Okay, I think it's like a 15-team no trade clause. He's got a $4 million cap hit. If a team comes calling and they need a defenseman, I'm not opposed. I think that gives you only more money to spend on your free agents to help amplify this next offseason, which I think we are all in next offseason. But that's a big if. If not, I think they're fine keeping him. He's steady Leddy. That's fine.
But we can still go all in and have him play on the bottom pair.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
That's an amazing bottom pair defenseman, if you're asking me.
Yeah. He's a bottom pair defenseman.
Yeah.
We have him playing with Parayko, which I will say they were solid last year.
But
the beginning of this year before he got hurt. So
the truth is, you got to add another top four defenseman to this team.
100%. Like you said, if we're gonna go all in, then you can just slide him on down. But then he's kind of overpaid, so I don't know. But you only have him for a couple more years.
Yeah, you only got
give and take. It's always give and take. It's a business. I don't think he's traded though. He's too valuable just in general for us personally.
Yep. No, I completely get that. All right. Let's see what our next guy is. All right, Radek Faksa. I also would not be a bad guy that a team that's trying to make a playoff push asks for. He plays good defensive hockey, can play your penalty kill. He's steady in the center spot. He's played up the lineup for us. Probably gets you a decent return. I would personally like to keep him for a 1 or 2 year, $2 to $2.5 million extension.
Yeah.
I think he really should be your fourth line center.
Yes. Because I think Sonny's just, I don't know. Sonny still plays hard. It's just some days he doesn't.
He's just injury prone. You can't count on Sonny to play a full season, and I hate that because I love him.
Oh yeah, everyone loves him. His knees are busted.
Yeah,
he's still trying his hardest out there. I love Fox. I think he's such a good, steady fourth line guy.
Yeah.
Just right now, we have so many of them. So who knows?
Yeah,
who knows?
All right, moving on. Sonny, I think we keep him. But I think he does get you a relatively decent return for what he is at the deadline with only like a $1.5 million cap hit, has another year of control, and is a vital role for a team trying to make a playoff push. I think bottom six role for him. He's lights out and fantastic for you.
So good on the special teams, as you said. PK. Yep. He's just a PK beast. Yep. Maybe like a black ace type of player for a playoff team that's built already. So maybe he plays a few games here and there in the playoffs if we do get rid of him, but I just don't think that's possible the way he is here. So,
all right. Scotty Perunovich, trade, let go, released, put on waivers. As soon as we get guys back, he's not on this roster, in my opinion. And,
agreed.
I don't think he has an ounce of value, in my opinion. I think maybe you get a 7th round pick, maybe for him, or he's packaged. At this point, I think he clears waivers. I don't see him getting picked up unless it's like a San Jose.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know if San Jose would want him at that rate. He doesn't play a physical game. He seems so disassociated with playing. And he was a Hobie Baker winner in college. So, like, he was the guy. But I think that ship has sailed. I'm sorry to say it. I think I had really high hopes for Scotty Perunovich that he was going to be a poor man's Cale Makar. But he's gone.
Yeah, I think he should have been gone 2 or 3 years ago.
Yep.
I have nothing else to say.
Yep. All right, P.O. Joseph. I think you keep him. I think he could get you a decent return as a depth defenseman, but I think you extend him. He is one of our restricted free agents as well, Scotty Perunovich, at the end of the year. So, P.O., I hope they give him a 2 to 3 year deal as a depth defenseman. He's probably getting another 1 year deal next year, but I think he's wanting to stay. He's getting to play with his brother for the first time. I like his game. I think he's only going to get better. I think he could be your 7th or 6th defenseman, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's a almost like a Nico Mikkola type of guy.
Yeah.
Like, I think maybe he's going to find his game like Nico did when he went to Florida.
Yeah.
Just a valuable person to play in your, that 5-6 slot.
Yeah, 5-6 slot, but also can play up, and I don't feel like it's a terrible negative.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, another guy that's kind of been forgotten about. He's sitting in the AHL right now. He's playing down there. Don't really have much statistics on him. Tyler Tucker. I think that his shot's kind of gone. I think he's getting older. He is a gritty guy. I thought he was going to really click, but I think he was more of a Berube player, and I don't think he's going to transition to playing. When they picked Kessel over him and they picked Scott Perunovich over him, I think you kind of know where you're sitting. I think he probably stays in the minors as a depth piece, as an emergency kind of guy, but I don't see him being an NHL defenseman going forward.
Yeah, I agree wholeheartedy. I think he's AHL through and through, which is fine. That's still a great hockey player. Hockey. Yeah, just have him down there if we need him, which God hope we don't. Which we're almost there, but we don't. So please, God.
We're getting close. All right, last guy that I have on this list, I don't think anyone else is really moving. Texier, in and out of the lineup lately, can't seem to stay healthy, but when he is streaky. I think he stays. I think they wouldn't have given that contract extension. He's a depth piece going forward. I think as our team progressively gets better in the next 2 years, I think next year this team is substantially better, in my opinion, than where we are now. I think he's a healthy scratch kind of guy. He's can fill a role when you need him. We saw that they really don't trust him playing center because they haven't given him an opportunity in this chaos of needing centers. He's a winger. I don't think he is suited for the 4th line. I think that's a disservice for him.
Yeah.
But he also hasn't contributed when he's been playing up the lineup. So I don't know. Maybe the injury derailed him a little bit. but you watch him when he plays for Team France in the offseason, you're like, holy crap, maybe this is going to be a steal. But I thought it was just a curse of Columbus, but I think he is what he is. And that's okay. He's a bottom 6 guy that's depth. I think I'd rather have Texier over Kapanen, though.
100%. I think, like you said, the team should be getting better in a year or two. If that's true, Schen's your third-line center, and then Texier's on the wing with Schenn.
Yep.
And there you go. And he can stay there forever.
Yep.
I like him. I think he takes a lot of shots when he's held, like before he got hurt, man. That just another one that like sucks out the gate. Yeah. But he was looking pretty decent. He was flying. Now I don't know. Maybe he's more nervous. Again, they haven't given him too much of a shot. It's almost like Kapanen, and he's in and out. I just hope he's not getting discouraged, man.
Yeah.
Because he's got, like, I think the management needs to come together and sit individual players down, tell them their value, tell them where they're at right now. And if they want to stay, they stay. If they don't, talk about or do what we're talking about right now and try and get what you get out of them.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying doing that right now, because if you do that right now, the whole thing might sink.
Yeah.
Because people might be like, well, then get me out of here. And then we'll be like 7-75. So,
yeah. And that's the thing. It's like, Doug Armstrong has said this repeatedly. If you want a top 5 pick or a top 3 pick, I can get you there. I can trade everyone off, and we can just not be competitive.
Exactly.
And be painful to watch.
Exactly. Even worse than it is now, fans. Seriously.
Yeah. So, like, it can be worse, and it could be worse. So, I think in retrospect, you really got to look at this, guys. Like, we're still in a retool. I think we were all very excited. We were watching a really fun style of hockey. But this team is what it is. Like, they weren't built for a Stanley Cup year just yet. We're working towards that. The door will be open for 5 to 10 years once we get done with this retool, because I think they're doing it the right way. So the Otto Stenbergs are on the way. The Dalibor Dvorskys are on the way. The Adam Jekos and Stonsels and the Theo Lindsteins are on the way, and the Jimmy Snuggerers. So there are reinforcements coming. And 2 of those guys are centers, of Otto Stenberg and Dalibor Dvorsky. And these 2 are going to be very important in the future of this team. My opinion is, going into this next offseason, this team is going to need to find a center. I know they don't want to block Dalibor Dvorsky, and they think he should be playing second-line center. I think he comes in, he plays third-line center with Schenn on the wing with him. You go get a guy that is a proven center for 2 to 3 years. I think we throw out a name like Frank Vetrano. I think he would be perfect for this team. But that being said, we're still in a rebuild. I still trust Doug Armstrong. I think Alex Steen is doing a lot of work behind the scenes that we don't know about. This team is only going to get better. We just got to ride the waves, folks.
Yeah. Again, injuries.
Yep.
Doug said it's a retool. We should be competitive. Right now, the mental is a little off. We'll see with Bannister in the future. I don't think he's going anywhere. I do think the Claude Julien signing makes people think that maybe Bannister's going to be gone eventually. I just think it was just an assistant coach signing to keep him in the league because he wants to stay in the league, and he's a great hockey mind.
Yeah, I think the guy we've talked about, though, and I don't know, Jimmy Montgomery in Boston, I think his days are numbered. And the dude was a guru at making a fantastic power play here in St. Louis when he was here as an assistant. If he gets fired, do you clear house? Do you make him an assistant coach? Do you lock him in knowing he should really be your head coach? I know a lot of people wanted him when they thought Boston was going to let him go. I
don't know. It's a good question. I'm confused with Boston. I thought they would be better right now, but we'll see. I'm not against it. I just think Doug Armstrong's stubborn right now. I don't think he'll do it. Unless he truly, truly has to. Like, if the players come up to him and say, we don't want to play for this guy, like, give us somebody else. We'll see what he does. All right. Well, that being said, thanks for listening. I know the Blues are streaky, as we suspected. Just ride the wave, baby, and hopefully it gets better soon. Hopefully people come back from injury and we're buzzing again.
Yeah.
Because before we were streaking. And we'd love to have a chance to fight for a wild card, man, as we always do, because anything can happen when you make it. Much love to you. Happy Veterans Day. And let's go Blues, man.
Let's go Blues. All right. Love you, Mike. Always appreciate doing this, guys. And thank you again for listening. And we really do love you guys. Please share. Please tell your friends. The more people that get this, the more people we can reach out to, and we can keep talking about the hockey that we love. Thanks, guys. Yep.